This beef stew has not been refrigerated or frozen, and it's still safe to eat. This is some beef stew that I made in December of 2024, and I'm only now getting around to eating it. The lid looks totally fine. It is just bits of meat that are stuck to the lid, but it's totally okay. Smells like beef. Smells just like a beef stew. It doesn't smell like there's anything wrong with it. It looks totally fine. There's obviously just bits of like the vegetable and the meat where it's already been cooked. But we're just gonna heat it up and give it a try. This beef stew that I've made here doesn't really have many seasonings, I believe, apart from salt, and I want to say pepper, but I can't quite remember because I made it about 3 months ago. Let's try the broth first. The broth was made with homemade beef broth, I believe. And here is some beef and carrot. Wow, that is really surprising. The beef is so tender. Before the jar gets processed, all the meat, vegetables and everything in it gets packed in raw. So the beef is raw, the potatoes are raw, the onions, the carrots, everything raw goes in this jar with some hot broth, and then it gets processed for the correct amount of time and the correct pressure for your altitude. Let's give the potato a try. I was kind of worried that these might get too mushy, because depending on what the ingredients you have in your stew or anything you make really will depend on the time it cooks for. And because meat takes the longest, we will process this for the time it takes for meat to process, even the vegetables are also in it. So let's give the potato a try. Wow. Very hot. The potato turned out nowhere near as mushy as I expected. It still has quite a firm base to it, but when you bite into it, it does like quite melt in your mouth, which is what I quite like. Overall, I am really surprised about how this turned out, and this is my lazy day dinner.